It is that time of year again, friends. We are coming up on the fall Sephora savings event, VIB sale, whatever you want to call it. It is right around the corner. It is coming up quickly. I will have information about the dates, who can shop when, all of those things in the description box down below. And of course, I will have a pop-up on the screen letting you know when you can shop based on your tier. But the Sephora VIB sale is always a favorite for me. I love to shop during the sale. Although, you know, back in the day, Sephora used to only run sales during the VIB sale, and now I feel like we have some more here and there that pop up, but I still love to shop. This is a great time for me to restock items that I know I would be restocking or repurchasing, but also to pick up some new favorites. I am a VIB Rouge, so I do get the 20%. It makes more sense for me. But in today's video, over the years, I've done several types of videos. I have a whole Sephora playlist with all of the years of recommendations, wish lists, buy this, buy that, sets, all of the things. So that will be listed down below. But this year, I thought that I would give you like my Sephora bestsellers list. When Sephora puts their bestsellers together, these are items that give them good sales, that they sell often. People are purchasing these items. So I went and looked at my history. I pulled my purchase history from Sephora, and these are my bestsellers. The products that I have gone back for time and time again and repurchased. Now, when I went back in my history, I could only go back so far as 2021. So these are my most repurchased items in the last 5 years. Let's go ahead and dive in. So my purpose for this video is to share with you some items that are my best sellers that I've repurchased that I really enjoy. So I want to give you some suggestions on things you may enjoy as well. What I think I'm going to do, I just have a handwritten list here. I'm going to go in order from the most repurchased in the last 3 years to the least repurchased. So starting my most repurchased item from Sephora in these last 3 years has been a body cream. This is the Sol de Janeiro Bum Bum Cream. This is pricey, y'all, but the thing that I like about this, I've purchased minis and the full size over the years. Now they actually have a refillable container, and I've purchased that. So this jar, I keep the same jar, and then on the inside, they have inserts, and so I can drop a little, like this one right here is a little insert. I don't want to make a mess of it. And so this container right here is actually an insert. You can purchase the refillable insert, drop it inside, looks like a fresh container, but I run through this stuff, y'all. I know it's pricey for a body cream, but the thing that I like about it, first of all, I enjoy the scent. It feels tropical, it feels beachy for me. My husband and I both use this, so sometimes I'll purchase the smaller size just to take with us if we're traveling, but the scent on this lingers, and I have had people compliment me. During my pregnancy and nursing stage, I didn't really want to wear perfumes, so I wanted some kind of cream or lotion that I enjoyed the scent of, that I felt like would make my skin smell good and make me smell good. And I've worn this without body sprays or perfumes and had people compliment me in the past, so I continue to purchase it. It's hydrating, it smells good, makes my skin feel good, and my husband likes it too. So it's a bonus. This has been repurchased, I don't know if I said 9 times in the last 3 years. Now that includes minis and full size and refills, but when I look back at my history, 9 times I've repurchased this bad boy. Now in overall purchases, this next item has probably been repurchased more than the Bum Bum Cream. However, in the last 3 years, I have purchased my Pharmacy Honey Halo. This is the Ultra Hydrating Ceramide Moisturizer 8 times. I love this stuff. I use this as a day cream. I use it as a night cream. It's very hydrating on my dry skin. But the thing that I like about it is it is creamy and it is a little bit thicker, but it absorbs quickly into the skin. It sits well underneath makeup, but it's moisturizing enough for me to use at night as well. I don't need a secondary night cream. It gives me the hydration in the winter. Now I live in Texas, so it's hot and humid, but in the winter or in the colder months, if I'm traveling, this is moisturizing enough for my dry, eczema-prone skin. It gives me the hydration. It gives me the glow. It's very comfortable. It doesn't irritate my skin. And so, you know, over the years, I've told myself, I have a beauty YouTube channel. Should I be purchasing other items and trying them? And here and there, I dabble, but I always come back to Pharmacy. The Honey Halo, the texture, the comfort, the wear. It's just very luxurious. A little bit goes a long way. A little bit goes a long way, but I love this one. I guess I really like the Sol de Janeiro because I have purchased their body wash 5 times in the last 3 years. This is the Brazilian Play Body Wash. I really love this stuff. Again, you have that tropical scent. It's very moisturizing. It does smell very much like the Bum Bum Cream. But I actually got this first as a gift. I got the little mini size, used it, it was moisturizing, it was comfortable, it made my skin smell good. So when I used it up, I went out and purchased a full size. I have repurchased the full size. I've tried the pink one as well. That one I got from a friend in a smaller size, went through that one. But I mean, this stuff is amazing. Hydrates, softens, yes it does. Again, it doesn't flare up my eczema prone skin. It does give you like a nice lather. It feels very rich and comfortable on the skin, but like it smells good. And at the end of the day, that's what I want my body wash to do. I want it to make me smell good, and it does that. So I have repurchased this 5 times. This is another one where in the grand scheme of things, I know for a fact that I have purchased this way more than the amount of times I'm about to share with you. But in the last 3 years, I have purchased the Laneige Toner 4 times. This is the toner and moisturizer in one. They now also have a refillable package for this one, so you can keep the container, unscrew the top, and just pour the bag inside, which is really, really nice. I have purchased the refill. This used to come, I purchased this years ago. If you've seen any of my empties videos, I have gone through tons of these, like well over 10 of them in my lifetime. Back when it was a pump, then they had the container where you had to like shake it out. Now it's a little spray. I spray it in my hand. I push that into the skin. This is very hydrating. It says toner and moisturizer in one. I can definitely see that. It's very creamy, it's very milky, it's very hydrating. Again, this is a product where I'm like, should I be branching out and trying others? I mean, maybe, but I keep coming back to this one because it just makes my skin feel moisturized and plumped and hydrated, and I love it. So in the last 3 years, I've purchased it 4 times, although I'm sure it's been much, much more than that. Another bestseller, a product that I have gone through many a times, is the Pharmacy Green Clean Makeup Melt Away Cleansing Balm. I have tried several different balms and oils. I've kind of gone back and forth between the two, but this is the one that I keep repurchasing time and time again. I love this because, first of all, it is a balm, so I find that it's easier to travel with than an oil. It doesn't give me like an oily texture. I was using the Clinique Cleansing Oil before, and that worked great, but it is an oil, and it does have an oil base. This is easy for me to travel with because it is a balm texture, but when I scoop it out and rub it between my fingers, it emulsifies and turns into more of a liquid. I can rub that on the skin, I can rub it over my eyes, it doesn't burn, it doesn't irritate, and it really does a great job of working with my makeup cleansing working with my makeup eraser to really remove all of the makeup. I like to do a double cleanse. So I want to remove my makeup and then I want to go in and wash my face. And this does a great job of taking everything off. Stubborn mascara, layers of makeup, red lipstick, the works. It's a great one. So I have repurchased this 3 times in the last 3 years. It's been much more than that. So I mean, that goes to show you, it lasts a long time. I have to say, I was kind of surprised on this one, but in the last 3 years, I have gone through the Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas 3 times. I have repurchased this. Now I do get the smaller size because I just take a tiny little dollop. I put it where my pores are larger. I put it on my forehead, and it really helps to smooth the skin, to even it out, to make my pores look less noticeable, I guess. It's a very silky, smoothing feeling. It's comfortable on the skin. It doesn't irritate. And I feel like it does a good job of like smoothing makeup. You know, like my foundation sits nicely on it. It makes my skin look nice and even. I like to go through a smaller size because I could purchase the larger size and I could use it and go through it, but I like the accomplishment feeling. I feel accomplished when I go through this and throw it into my empties bin. So I have repurchased 3 of these. I did also, initially when I tried this out, I tried it out as a balm before they had this liquid version. And I liked the balm. I thought it was great. But I heard through the grapevine that the liquid silk canvas was better for dry skin, and it's just the one that I have continued to repurchase and love. I'm seeing a pattern here of all of the things that it's telling me I've repurchased, but knowing like in my lifetime, this truly is a bestseller and I've repurchased it multiple times. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. I have talked about my brows. I have to create a brow. My brows are non-existent. My hair is red. My brows are light. I have to create a brow. And for years, literal years, I have been using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Caramel. Recently, I went to Austin and was hanging out with my friend Angie, and she asked me if I had ever tried the straw burn shade. Now at some point I should try it out and see how it compares to my caramel, but honestly I was like, caramel just works well for me. Like, it's my shade, it's my color. People tell me my brows look like they are natural, like I didn't have to create them. So it says that I've only repurchased this 3 times in the last 3 years, so again, it lasts, but I know that I have repurchased this much more. I've been using this for years, well before I had children. My daughter's 5. Like, I have been using this product. I know that it's expensive. I know that there are dupes out there, but for me, I would rather spend the 20-something dollars and get the Brow Wiz and know that it's really gonna work. I do not currently have this one in my collection, but my Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel, this is another one. It says that I've repurchased it 3 times in the last 3 years, but I know I've purchased it much, much more than that. I typically go with the smaller size because it's a gel, a little bit goes a long way. I once heard someone say that this was like hairspray for their brows, and that's why they didn't like it. But for me, it's like hairspray for your brows, and that's why I do like it. Like, I need my brows to stay in place when I draw them on. I want to know that that's where they're going to stay. They're not going to travel. They're not going to be over here, over there. They are going to stay locked and loaded. And so this has been a fan favorite for me. I have repurchased it time and time again. And if you are looking for some hairspray for your brows, that's a good one. Speaking of brow products, the current product that I have in my collection is from Patrick Ta. This is the Lamination Gel, and I would be willing to say that this is more securing than the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel. So I can't remember who it was that said they didn't like it because it was like hairspray, but if you don't like that, you're really not gonna like this. This is like super glue for your brow hairs. And I have to work quickly. Like, I do 1 brow at a time. It's after I already draw my brows in. I'll put the clear gel in place, and then I'll take my spoolie and kind of brush the hairs into place. They will not move. They will not budge until there is makeup remover on them. It does not matter if I am outside in this 90-degree Texas heat. My brows are staying put. They're not gonna move. This is going to lock them in place. So I have repurchased this twice. I wanna say this is like my 3rd container, my 3rd product, my 3rd gel. I don't know. Anyway, when I look at my history, I have repurchased this twice. I have also repurchased the Glow Recipe Niacinamide Dewdrops twice in my last 3 years. This one though, I have had a couple friends gift me theirs because they know my love for this is so strong. This is a niacinamide based like dewdrop type of serum. You can use it as skincare like my friend Heather Austin who has oily skin. I use it as a primer or like a finishing step. I will have my skincare, I will put on my sunscreen, let that all soak in, then I go in with my dewdrops and kind of like brightens my skin up, brings it back to life, gives it a boost of hydration before I go in with my Tatcha Silk Canvas and then ultimately my makeup after that. This is a favorite for me. Like I said, I've repurchased this twice, but I have had friends give me some backups, so I haven't had to repurchase them, but like this is legit a bestseller for me. We have a couple more products that like I know for a fact I've purchased more than the 2 times that the record is saying here, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's probably because I purchased them from Ulta as well. I'm talking about 2 mascaras. My 2 Holy Grail bestseller mascaras are the Monsieur Big from Lancome and the Benefit Roller Lash. I have repurchased both of these time and time again. Like I said, both from Ulta and Sephora. These are fan favorites for me. Are there good drugstore mascaras? Absolutely. Get a drugstore mascara. They're fantastic. However, I was introduced to these and I've never looked back. So the Monsieur Big from Lancome, this one is more of a volumizing mascara. It can give you a little bit of like a spider lash if you're not careful, or if like you've had it for a while, you're getting down to the end there, but I don't mind that. I like the volume. I boost the volume up, and then I go in with my Benefit Roller Lash after that, and that separates and lengthens. That takes any clumps away. It really makes my lashes look long and thick and full. It has been a fan favorite as well. This one I had to pull out of my empties. This is a new one, and like I said, it says that I've purchased them twice, but if you've been around my channel for a while, you know these are like my holy grail go-to mascaras that I continue to repurchase time and time again. For this next one, I didn't see any record of me having purchased it other than the one time, in the last 3 years, but I know that foundation is not something that I typically go through often. Foundation is not something that I'm typically having to repurchase often because I have so many and I try so many, but I know for a fact that this is my third container of the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I tried this many, many years ago, shortly after having my daughter, when it was the only foundation in my collection, and I purchased the full size, which is more expensive, and I used that up completely. Like, went through to the end, used it up completely, loved it so much, so I went on to repurchase it again, the full size. But that was when I was getting back into using more makeup. I had more foundations in my collection, and I went through about half of that before it started to go bad, because really foundation only has a shelf life of really a year, if you want to be honest. And if I look at the bottom, it says 12 months. Some of them, I mean, I have foundations in my collection that I keep for more than a year, 2 years, you know, but according to what we know about liquid foundations and what's safe for your skin, about a year. So I had the second bottle of Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, used about half of it, but then I noticed the smell kind of went bad. I had other foundations, so I got rid of it, knowing that when I repurchased it for a third time, because I had to have it in my collection, I wanted to get the smaller size. So this is the smaller size. I have the shade 4, and it is 0.6 fluid ounces, so a little bit more than half of a fluid ounce. I am almost done with this one, y'all. I love this foundation. Again, I have dry skin. It sits so beautifully on the skin. It gives me more of a medium coverage. You can still see freckles through, but it covers up any redness I have from blemishes. It has just a silky look to it. Not overly dewy, not overly glossy, not a flat matte, just more of like a satin glow. And when I go in with those hydrating products, it really does look extra glowy. It makes my skin look like my skin, but fantastic. It has long wear. This is a favorite for me. When I do use this up completely, I will go on to repurchase it because this is a staple for me. It's expensive, but I need it in my collection. And if you're interested in hearing more about foundations, there are some foundations that have recently launched, and I tested and tried and ranked the last 7 foundations that I tried recently, so I'll have that listed down below if you want to check that out. Now that does conclude like my best sellers, my most repurchased items, but I did have some honorable mentions that I wanted to talk to you about. One being, I mean, these are like products that like I don't really need to repurchase, like they're gonna be around for a while. One being this bronzer here. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer, the matte bronzer in the shade 2. This thing is huge. I have not repurchased this because this is still the original. I have a lot of it. There is a little bit of a dip here, but I love this bronzer for more of like a natural bronze. Again, I have red hair, so I don't want something that's too warm, but I don't want it to be too cool. I want it to have more of like a neutral undertone. This one does. It leans a little bit warmer, but it has more of like a neutral warm undertone. It doesn't pull orange on my skin, and it's just like the perfect shade for my fair skin. It's very comfortable. It's long lasting. It's not patchy, all of the things. This is a great one. Again, it's expensive, Charlotte Tilbury, but if you are in the market for a new bronzer, that one is fantastic. I definitely recommend that one. If you are looking for a good blush, the Pat McGrath blushes are my favorite. The one that I'm wearing on my face today is in the shade Divine Rose. This trio that you're gonna see, the Divine Blush and Glow Trio in Galactic Sun, is no longer available, but usually around the holiday time, Pat McGrath will put some sets together with blushes and highlighters, maybe bronzers now that she has them. Her blushes are phenomenal. They are not a flat matte on my skin. Some of them pull more satin, some of them are more matte, but not like a flat, dull matte. These also do have good pigmentation, but you're not going to go in with a heavy hand. They are buildable, so you can build them up to the pigmentation you would like, and they're long wearing. So those are fabulous. A highlighter that I really enjoy is from Rare Beauty. Now I have the shade Mesmerize, which is more of that rose gold type of shade, but they have one that's more of a champagne, more of an icy white. This is a bam in your face highlight. This is not subtle. This is not discreet. This is not I want a little pop. This is boom, bam, outer space. They can see me. We are out there. That is what I look for in a highlighter. I absolutely love this one, but the thing that I love and appreciate is that there are not specks of glitter. There are not chunks of glitter. It's not getting all over the place. I just look shiny and shimmery and fabulous, so I love that. I technically did not purchase this powder. It was a gift from my friend Smegs, but the Givenchy Prism Libre powder, I love this one. If you are looking for more of an airbrushed effect, I use it underneath my eyes and on my forehead lines. This is going to give me more of that airbrushed feel. It's going to be very smoothing, but it's not too dry. It doesn't cling to dry patches, it doesn't suck the moisture out of my face, but it's definitely going to look like I have powder on. It's not glowy or anything like that. So I wanted to mention that. That is a good one. Concealer, I typically do like use concealers up, and I like to try different ones. The one that I'm currently using and loving is from Natasha Denona. I have the shade N4. I think this is a great concealer. It's very hydrating, but it does give me full coverage. It has more of a serum feel. It's not sticking to any dry line. It's not sticking to any dry patches or settling into my fine lines weird. I like this one. It's very comfortable. It's a good one. I would recommend that. Of course, you can get it at Sephora. If you are someone like me and you have to create a brow, and you are looking for some kind of like gel, or it's going to give you kind of like a fiber effect, the Benefit. You can't even see the name on this anymore. It has rubbed off. I think I'm in the shade 3. Oh yeah, there's a 3 on the back here. So I have the shade 3. This is the Benefit Brow Fiber. I don't know what it's called, but this is a good one if I'm looking for like little extra fibers, or I want it to look like those blonde hairs, I want them to stick out. This kind of tints them. So really, really love that one. And then my lip combo today can also be found at Sephora. Y'all, look at this. I need to sharpen it. Look how teeny tiny this is. I love the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner. This is the shade Iconic Nude. When I use it up, I will definitely repurchase this one. It's the perfect nude shade, but you see I paired it with a bright red, and it's like still looks fantastic and amazing. The red that I'm wearing, I always get compliments when I wear this. It is from Give Beauty. This is the original recipe, original me. It's a matte. It's their matte bullet lipstick, one of the first ones that they came out with. I like it because it is a matte. I want my reds to be matte. I don't want it to transfer. It's not going to go anywhere. It is kind of borderline drying feeling, but I don't mind that with a red because like I said, if it's too glossy, it's gonna move. It's gonna be all over my face. I don't want that. It is a red, so there's going to be some transfer because it's a bullet lipstick, but I find that if I'm eating, drinking, I'm not getting it all over the place. It's nice. It's not too cool toned. It's not too warm toned. It's just a beautiful red. It's a classic. So this is a great pair that I would recommend as well, even using them together. And in case you're wondering what's on my eyes, I didn't get a clip of this one, but recently Urban Decay re-released their Naked palette, the original, and I did go ahead and repurchase this because my original was no longer in my collection, so that's what's on my eyes today. Just thought I would share that with you, but I have tons of palette videos on my channel if you're interested in like hearing about some good palettes. I mean, this would be a great time to pick up a palette if there's one that's pricey, but that I think is going to wrap up this video. My best sellers, products that I have repurchased, and some honorable mentions of things that I would recommend. If you are going to be shopping, you are in the market for more recommendations, I will have my Sephora playlist down below. All of the years of recommendations and wish lists and all of the things will be down in that playlist below. But I would love to know, are you going to be shopping the sale? What do you have your eyes on? What are you picking up? I want to know. Otherwise, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.